An antitrust lawsuit against Google could be coming as soon as this summer, according to Dow Jones. Citing sources, the report says that the Department of Justice and state attorneys general are well into planning for litigation. Now, Melissa, of course, we know that investigations were underway and they're focusing on Google's online advertising business, but investors may have thought that the threat was not imminent given Google's critical role in work from home, and it's creating, remember, a contract tracing app with Apple that's going to be deployed by health authorities. So shares, they fell quite sharply in after-hours trade because lawsuits could threaten its largest business, and that, of course, is digital advertising. The EU has taken the hardest stance against Google so far, fining them over $9 billion in anti-competitive practices. But here in the U.S., critics are calling for more than fines, including sanctions and even a breakup of the company. One thing, Melissa, that is not clear in the report, whether the state's attorney generals will file their own complaint or join a federal one. The DOJ declined to comment, and we are awaiting a statement from Google any minute now.
Okay, Deirdre, thank you. Deirdre Bosa keeping us posted on litigation potentially against Alphabet. The line that jumped out at me, Tim, in this Dow Jones story is that they're well into planning for litigation, which sounds like they're not going to be happy with just some fine like in the EU, that this could be a protracted battle, legal battle with Alphabet. And therefore, I mean, that is costly, that is distracting, all those things.
And it's been an overhang for the stock. And the question is this now, remember June 3rd, 2019, when DOJ announced Apple, Facebook, and Google were all potentially in the crosshairs. Stocks traded down 6-7%, and then ultimately went on to set new highs. And so the question for Google is, what has been the regulatory headwind? I think largely we had worked through most of that. And if you just look at the last numbers that we got from them, clearly what's going on with their growth in cloud, but the $2 billion in MAUs in YouTube and the inflection point of that business is one of the reasons why the stock's been re-rating. I do think this is a headwind that's not going to go away overnight. Obviously, we just heard a bit about the schedule of DOJ into the summer and then the states starting in the fall. I will say Google's been through this before. They've been through this around the world. They haven't been through it here. But my sense here is, unless they're made to be a scapegoat, there's a lot of other people that would be called into this. And I'm not sure this is what the DOJ is ready for. But tough talk for a stock that largely has been defensive and has had a very good run.
All right, we got some more breaking news here, this time on Tesla. Phil LeBeau's got the story for us. Phil.
Hey, Melissa, I am losing my voice, but I wanted to bring you some breaking news. We have learned that Tesla is zeroing in on two possible locations for its next gigafactory in the central United States. One location, Austin, Texas. The other location, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We know that Tesla executives were seeing or evaluating two specific locations in the Tulsa area earlier this week. Now, we've reached out to Tesla. A spokesperson declines to comment on the search for a new gigafactory location. This would be the fifth gigafactory for Tesla. Earlier today, there was a report that Elon Musk had settled on Austin, Texas. But according to our sources, and they are people familiar with the search, they are looking at two possibilities, Austin and Tulsa, Oklahoma. And with my scratchy voice, I send it back to you, Melissa.
Don't say another word, Phil, please. Thank you very much. Phil LeBeau in Chicago. Guy Adami, I don't know if this is a game of high-stakes poker that Elon Musk is playing with the state of California, because to move from Fremont, that's a good 12 to 18 months. It doesn't cost zero to move an entire auto manufacturing plant from one state to another.
Having never done that myself, it's hard for me to speak intelligently about the costs associated with it. But what I'll say is, it's interesting to me, since the start of this year, all the moves that Elon Musk has been making feels as if he has some sort of air cover. I'm not quite sure where it's coming from, but he seems to be doing things that, 9 months or so ago, he probably wouldn't have done, and it's manifesting itself in the price. And quite frankly, the only thing more painful than listening to Phil LeBeau, playing hurt, by the way, and I respect that, is trying to play Tesla from the short side, Mel. So I'll just take a pass on the entire thing.